A question that's closely related to intrinsic aging, or the aging that just happens according to our biological clock, is what can we do about it? And so we all know about rejuvenation, and rejuvenation is kind of like, well, there's been a small motor vehicle accident and you got kind of a crushed bumper, maybe you haven't washed the car, maybe there's a few dents and scrapes, and we need to make the car look like it's new. And so that's rejuvenation, where you've got a few dings and bangs from time and the environment. And so we're going to rejuvenate you so you've got a brand new, even if it's a Model T, even if it's a vintage car, you can make that car shine like it's new, right? Even though it's vintage. So the concept of prejuvenation came about. And the idea with prejuvenation is that you are taking care of the skin. You are going to change the way that you age. Now, how did this happen? How did we realize this was happening? Well, we started to see, as clinicians, and myself obviously, started to see people who were on the younger side who were coming in for treatment. So let's say mid-30s, people who traditionally would say, well, nothing's really wrong. I got a few wrinkles, a few spots, but it's not so bad. So these people started coming in, and we started treating them with, so-called baby Botox, so-called little micro droplets of filler, nothing that you could really see, but something that just made everybody have a little bit more glow, a little bit more lift. And so what we saw in those patients, and this has been borne out by clinical studies as well, is that they aged completely different than people who had done nothing. So there's a very famous twin study that showed that two twins, one lived on the East Coast and one lived in California, and the one in California, even with more sun exposure, she'd had a neuromodulator, I don't remember what it was, whether it was Botox or Dysport or Xeomin, in her frown and her forehead, and her identical twin on the East Coast had nothing. And the quality of the skin of the forehead was completely different between the twins. So we know now that there is a physiological effect of these treatments, and it changes the way you age. It changes, so I like to talk about it like you can walk on this road or you can walk on that road. And we all want to be on that road because that's the one that you're going to end up looking great at whatever age you are. And so you not only maintain your look, but you end up looking younger much longer. So that's where the concept of prejuvenation came about. And so we know now that we can affect the genetic expression of the skin by different treatments that we can do. So this hasn't been shown in a long-term way with skincare, except perhaps with a tretinoin, which is in the so-called the retin-A, in the retinol category, that we can see that people who use a product like that over a year's time have less wrinkles, they have less brown spots, they have a lower incidence of skin cancer. This is the kind of so-called prejuvenation. So, but just along that thought, I feel that when you use good quality skincare, it doesn't matter what age you start, you're still prejuvenating. You might have to do a little rejuvenation before you could prejuvenate, but it's kind of like it's so much like taking care of a car or a house. Once you fix it up, yeah, you got to do a little maintenance, but you might have to put in a little time and money at the beginning to get back to that pristine look. And then you keep it up or you pay for it.